champion stories. We have a trailblazer who's breaking barriers in this big city. Priyanshi is an inspiration for everyone trying to make mark in the entrepreneurial world. She founded Instacar, a premium cab hailing service which provides premium service and trained chauffeurs. Let's hear from this dynamic lady how she turned out to be an inspiration, a leader, and an entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining us, Priyanshi, today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Let's start with the basics of how Priyanshi came into the picture. How was it growing up in a small town like Indore?
I am not from Indore. I'm from this place called Devas. It's almost 30-40 kilometers away from Indore. So it's I should never use the word like small town. I don't like believe in like small town kind of stories, but it has a like very small, like less population. And like growing, like if you see Bangalore, if you are growing up in Bangalore, there you grow up with something like differently, like in terms of like education, in terms of the lifestyle. And with the places like Devas, this like the mindset of the people is like quite different, and you have been set to some kind of like monotone and a setting of that particular that thing. It's like a well where you are there and you can't just see the world until you move out of that city. So then I moved from Devas to Indore for education. Then from Indore to then I went to IIT Delhi for some course there, and then I moved to then Bangalore. So it was it is quite a journey. It was a journey of a self-discovery. I did not knew I can do this much until I like moved out from the city. And also the places like Devas also like teaches like so much because you are very grounded. So it was a really good experience. So we used to travel in the towards the school. We used to travel in this tempos kind of thing, where like the people who have studied from Bangalore did not like even see that kind of vehicles were also there in like past 25 years or this thing. So it was quite an experience in that particular city. So I miss that. It's a very like low paced thing, and here it's very fast paced. You have to like start working, and though you are learning also, but that is also very quiet and this thing. So whenever I am feeling like little like very anxious on all this environment, I feel like going back home and do a rest of like a week or something, and then get back to work again. So yeah.
So tell us something about when you were growing up. What did you study? Why did you study what you studied?
Okay, cool. So I was not very much interested in like studying. Wow. So I was a very notorious student, always like bringing in complaints and all these things happening. Then after like 8th and 9th standard, my parents have also like given up on me. Ki, okay, do whatever you want to do now. And I was more towards like as in sports and creative field. So I'm a karate black belt. So I like this thing. So I was a state level gold medalist. I always enjoyed sports and this thing. I was not into studies. Then when we have to take the subject after 10th standard, I was like, I want to study the simplest subject that they have. So in my school they only had like commerce and science. So I was like, okay, I'll go for commerce. I thought it's an easy subject. Then I okay, 11th, 12th was done. Then now what to do? So again in the monotone thing, how we are said. So my parents said ki you have to go into a government college because the fees is less, and second, okay, it's nearby, it's in Indore, so you have to go and study there. So I prepared for that. I got into the government college which they wanted me to go into, and it was MBA in e-commerce, and it was a 5 years integrated course. I did not enjoy college much in terms of like as in which I was into like the culture thing and all these things did not happen there. But what happened, my transition from not being a studious student to a studious student like came in. So then I, as in few semesters went by, then I became the as in like first 3 students in the class. So when I graduated, like as in done my BBA, MBA, I was the second rank holder in the class. with almost 9 pointers, like out of 10. And then I eventually figured out I love studying as well. It's just that in the school days I was like not getting the correct direction or correct momentum. So that's when, so as soon as I did my MBA, I joined like a company which coincidentally my other founder was running previously. So I just joined, and after a few months we transitioned into like Instacar. We started Instacar together then. So it was the like whole journey. Yeah.
Priyanshi, what does an entrepreneur mean to you, or why did you decide to become one in the first place?
So I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I did not decide to be like it's just for my entire, if you see the background as well, it's about when I do, then I discover okay, these are also the things which I can do. And so the personality that I have, I want to do everything with like, I want to just give my 100% to whatever I do and like excel into it. So rather it's been like playing and getting into one sports. I did karate. I like completed it till end. I reached the black belt thing. Then when I was studying in college, I wanted to reach on the top. And when I am I pursued entrepreneurship. So what happened? It was okay. One day Ishan and me were discussing, and it came as an idea, and that we started. And I was so naive. I was like, okay, that is fine. Okay, being a director of the company, being the CEO of the company, co-founder, I did not even realize what I am going through. But and it was like, okay, for 6 months to 1 year, I was not able to realize. I was like, I am the manager in my own company. Then later on, I realized it's not just being like managing everything. It's more than that. It's more of like leading something and owning what you are doing. It's because if you have done something, if you have reached to a certain level, you cannot go back. You cannot just look back and okay, now something else kind of thing, because you have put in so much effort till now. How can you just like, okay, like push back onto that? So entrepreneurship for me, or being an entrepreneur, is more of discovering yourself. For me, it's been a journey of self-discovery. I was a very introvert and a person who used to like self-doubt kind of thing. But when I like till now, it's been a journey of 4 years now. I think I was not like as in a very introvert person. I was just like as in keeping myself back. I used to have like so much doubts. I never want to like as in go in front of like anyone and tell you, okay, I'm having these doubts. I used to feel like as in what they'll think about me. Now it's more of okay, I'm not like that. I'm like more, I can do like anything. I'm very confident. I am very I'm like, okay, now I can learn everything. So it's a journey of a self-discovery. So being an entrepreneur, self-discovery is like really important.
So let's talk more about your business and who your biggest business influence has been.
So we started with outstations. Outstation, finding the correct car and the correct driver for the outstation trip. For 3 years we were doing that in different cities. We were across 7 cities in India, and we recently moved to this city, Bangalore, and setting up the team, and like again discovering how what all use cases we can do and perform. So then it turned out to be not just into outstation specific use case. We are solving more for more on the end of chauffeurs. Because they can make or break the experience. So chauffeur is the central part of the entire this thing when it comes to cab experiences. So we call ourselves as the chauffeur-driven car rentals. Now the use case can be anything: airport, outstation, sali rentals, or maybe office commute or kids commute kind of thing. So business influence, I would say the co-founder is my like actually influence in the business, because if he was not there, I wouldn't have like pushed myself too much. So we were discussing yesterday too that we need another co-founder, because there are like lot of things, a lot of work is happening. And why people say in the startup industry, you might have like seen people heard people saying that you know, you need a other co-founder as well. It's just because like lot of work will be going on, and you have to support each other in the bad and the good times. So because my other partner, he started his business from the age of 21, and he was doing his like own like small business kind of thing from the age of 14. So I was always like, okay, he can make anything happen. So I was like trusting him, and on the other way, like he was trusting me as well, because my quality is like giving 100% to like, and putting in real like hard work to it. So my biggest influence is my like other founder in the company. So
and
yeah.
I think you guys make a great team in that case.
Yeah, of course. Even people believe in us, like as in when we go to investors, or when we go to crack some partnerships or something, because they always say ki, we believe in you guys and we really like you both. So it's more of a like consistency. They have been like seeing us from 4 years now in the industry, so it's like really nice.
So what would you say is your biggest business accomplishment in there?
Like in terms of like as in,
Let's say you're very proud of something.
okay, so I'm whatever I'm telling, it's just my perspective. Okay, so we got the chance to be like in 2019. We got the chance to be in India's like Techstars India came in. So it was their first India program, which was in Bangalore, and we were very fortunate to be part of Techstars program, because thousands of the companies, thousands of the startups apply Techstars, and very few companies can make into that. And they believed in us, and they got us into that. And Techstars program was like really nice. And at the end of the program and till now, we got a lot of business clarity. So what we were doing previously and what we are now doing is like, we are now really focused towards what we want to achieve. Earlier that was like really vague kind of thing happening, and we were like both me and Ishan were like putting in like efforts, and it was all our perspective which was going on. Now it is like influence of like really great mentors that we have, and even the program that we have gone into, and even the city. So city has also bring in a good focus ki, okay, our kind of customers are there, and we can keep the focus really clear. So that is our accomplishment, that we have come to some clarity, and in 2019 Techstars program happened. So it's like really
You're being very humble.
so like that, but yeah, it was like really cool. Techstars was amazing.
So what's the best advice you've received in life which you would want to share with us?
From like
Anybody. Like the best thing that you go by. What you scribble on walls in case you're lost.
So my mother once said, if you have like made a decision of something, then never regret it, because making a decision is like a very critical part. And I hate making decisions because I don't want to take the responsibility. So and I always used to regret it. And mother always used to say, if you have made a decision, then never regret it. Wow. So because that's a way you can like make a way forward to what you want to achieve.
So now that you have been a business owner for this long,
yeah.
What is the one thing you've learned as a business owner?
Okay, with the startups, every day can be a quit day. So, like as in, okay, demotivation will come for like as in some time, but you have to like keep yourself like motivated up always, because when you go to the office, you don't know what will come up and this thing. So, yeah, like always keep yourself motivated, because your energy will flow into the team and the environment as well. So, being the founders, you have to be like super ready every time.
So even if you're having a bad day, how do you cope up with that?
So what I do is I try not to communicate with people, because when I am having a bad day, because it's like as in it's just about me, because if I am having a bad day, I can make other day can also go bad. So I'm like, yeah, I should not talk with anyone. So though I sit, but I just don't talk. I just like keep on writing what all tasks I have to do, and then I enjoy like cold coffee kind of thing. So so I like eating and this thing. So I order some things which I like really like to get to a correct mood again. and then I like listening music and all these things. So I don't have time. I don't even know what are the songs going. It's just like I read. I just write down all the things. I try to keep my mood okay. And even I nowadays watch like some kind of YouTube videos. It's not related to business, just like anything. It can be related to fashion, beauty, or anything. I'm not like as influenced by that. I just like hearing like some nonsensical things which is not related to business. So it really like make up my mood. So yeah.
So I'm sure in these past 4 years you would have faced some failures, or if there's a shortcoming that you faced, if you did, how did you cope up with that? It's fine if you don't want to name the failure, but let's say the premise of it, and how did you cope up with that?
There was this phase, everything was not turning out to be well, because it will never happen ki, okay, we have thought this, and it can happen, it takes time also. So it was not really going well, and I then went to my sister's place and was just figuring out like, okay, now what to do, what can be done. So I was in that phase, obviously me, my other partner. So what happened in that phase was, so my other partner is always into ki, like whatever be it, I want to do this. Like he's always like, he'll go to the office like every time whatever happens, like he's this kind of person. I was like little on and females are little emotional as well on everything, even getting attached to like as in employees in terms of okay, they are working for us like these many years, months kind of thing. So I went, and then what happened, because sometimes like okay, when you're not feeling well, some like little things also like matters. So I got a call from I don't want to name the media here. So I got the call from them, and they said okay, you know, we have been tracking what you have been doing from a year kind of thing, and we want to give you this award of Women Entrepreneur of the Year in Mobility, this thing 2018, in which I got. So and that phase, like the things are not going well, and I am like in a very depressed mode. I am just thinking what to do now kind of thing, and I get this call, and I was like, people are actually recognizing what hard work I have put into. So it's not the end, that means. So after this, maybe this award, I can like again go up with full energy and try to correct all the things. So it's all the things have like bad and the good side. It's just a curve that everyone faces, and if you survive to that, like the lower phase of it, you can survive to like everything in life. So I think if I survive that phase, I can like maybe in the future also. So in the future, I don't think it should come again, but yeah, like it was really bad, and it like then it turned out to be really good. And if we weren't been pushing, if I have given that moment of time, then like I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be like talking with you, wouldn't be in Bangalore, never been part of Textras and all these things. So so that was like
so
a good
at least
decision.
By now I know that you are a very, very positive person. Yeah. So as part of Instacar, what is the one big business goal that you want to achieve? It can be
so our one business goal that we are like aiming for this particular year in December, being #1 in Bangalore. Like people should like we have planned certain transactions for just one use case, Bangalore Airport, and we want to achieve it, and being like #1 in that category. That is the aim, and that is the goal. That is the ultimate goal. If we can achieve that, we can be able to achieve like everything.
Now, moving on from business, what do you do when you want to unwind for fun and relaxation?
I really like food, eating. So I enjoy every cuisine, like it's Burmese, Thai, everything, Japanese. So I'm vegetarian. So like in all the cuisines, vegetarian stuff I like really like. So I go to like restaurants, I experiment different dishes. So I like eating. Then I read books. I read lot of books. And yeah, that's it. These are the two things I do. And even I went to this event, and there was this founder of a very famous company. He was saying, if you are an entrepreneur and if you think of work and personal life balance, and if you have the idea of ki I should take a break, like as in go out of the city and take 4-5 days break, then you are not in the correct profession. You should enjoy your work. You should always be into that phase. You should be able to like as in like how you can enjoy at work only. So that is the thing. So I also believe in the same thing. Going out is like, okay, for 1-2 days it is fine. So what happens is, what I am doing now is, whenever like people call me for the event, so I enjoy that, like as in travel period, then I stay there for like another day kind of thing to explore the city. Then it happens to be a vacation kind of thing for me. So yeah, it is like turning out to be really good.
So you said you like reading books. What is the one book you'd vouch for, which shaped your thinking?
Like there's this book, this book I've been reading from 4-5 years now, and I remember all the chapters now. I just go. So the name of the book is The Secret. Everyone like reads it, and people find it like really not very useful and these kind of things, but I really like it. If you open the book, open any page, so there will be some the words are like that. It's really motivating, and like it's really motivating. So I just read that book, The Secret. And there's another book called Flywheel, which I really like, which every entrepreneur should also read. It's a little book, so to get the clarity of the business, that is the book I really like. And recently I'm reading this book called The Words That Works. So we should like understand what words that we are using in like daily life. So it's about that. So that book is also really nice. So
if you were to give an advice to a 16-year-old, what would you say?
It can be any gender, right?
Anything.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure, like, as in what advice I can give. It's just so what I faced, as we discussed in the initial interview as well. I was a person who used to like self-doubt kind of person, and very introvert, and even very less confident. I was like, okay, what is like, if I walk also, my shoulders will always be like in this manner, because like I was like feeling some kind of insecurity, or maybe from the community that I was coming from, or I don't know what was happening. So if one advice I can give is, don't like self-doubt yourself. You are also not sure of what capabilities you have until you like learn like certain things, you discover yourself. There was this one more thing that I wanted to say was, never like as in be afraid of like learning something new or experimenting something new, because if we don't experiment, we don't like understand what is going to happen. And we always set in the mind this thing my parents have said, this thing my friend has said this is wrong. So unless you yourself experience it, you will never get to understand how is it. It's their perception or their perspective that they are putting onto us. And when you are like little, so you are in that phase, you are more towards your like family, friends kind of thing. Then when you go to the college, then you discover, and then you get to your job, you discover all these things. But the 16-year-old should also be understand they also have their own perspective towards like everything. So never stop experimenting and learning new things. And everyone should read books. So yeah.
I know that you are a good leader. So
Yeah.
what would you advise if how can somebody be a good leader?
Leadership is still, I am also discovering myself. I'm not sure what the good leader is. Though it's like 4 years into the business, and everyone has different perspective towards like how they want the leader should be. Suppose the 4 of the people are working with me, they will be like as in expecting something from me, and some other things expecting from my other partner also. But I think you need to be little humble on the ground. You should be available every time. I don't want to lead anyone, and the most important thing for me is, if you talk about leadership, is like until unless the people working with me, I cannot scale them, so then it makes like no sense. So even though I'm scaling the business, that is fine. I want to scale the people working with me as well. They should also graduate to some level as soon as the company scales up. So if I cannot add something to their career, then it's just a waste of time for me and them as well. So I really like vouch towards okay, people whom you are working with or will be joining you, scale them, scale with you. So,
I think that's how good leaders are. And so when you're saying you're not a good leader, but your thoughts really say that more than scaling the company is that you want your employees to grow in what they're doing.
Yeah. Also, Pooja, but the thing is, you are not able to communicate these things to people. Okay, this is all. These all things are in my mind, and even sometimes I say these things to the during the interview also to the people. Ki this is the person that I am looking forward in my company. But when they come and they join in, I'm not sure ki how to communicate this thing. So I'm thinking this for you, and you are not on the same line of what I am thinking. So communication is a little challenge that I'm figuring out. Let's see how it goes.
Now, after you're done with, let's say, I'm not going to say 9 to 5 because it's an entrepreneur, so 9 to whatever. What keeps you up at night?
Okay, like I am not a night like as in night person. I'm more towards like morning person. I wake up early. I try to wake up early, but currently in Bangalore my schedule is not very good to wake up early kind of thing, because I'm usually in the office for 15-16 hours kind of thing. So what is pushing me towards like doing this is that the aim or the goal that we have set for this year. And the second thing is, we cannot make wrong, like as in we cannot make a mistake. So I want to serve all my customers. I should not be like making mistakes, since I'm into operations. So I take care of the rides should get delivered on time and everything is happening. So I should be able to make sure that okay, nothing goes wrong. Like there should be zero mistakes. And because in the night also, if I'm sleeping and there's something in my mind, okay, this night ride needs to be delivered, and some mistake might happen because it's operational highway business. Then I wake up like at 4 a.m. and start my laptop and see okay, everything is because we can track drivers, where are they. So I just go and see I'm just tracking okay, he has reached the location or not kind of thing. And is any customer message they need help or something. So I don't micromanage things. It's just I just want to make sure that everything is happening like on place kind of thing. So this is a thing. And second thing is the ultimate goal, the ultimate aim that we want to achieve. And things won't work until you do. So you have to put efforts. If you are like doing nothing and you're just seeing, so it won't move. And if you push the efforts, not now, but eventually you'll see it. I'm a very, very firm believer of when you put efforts, it will start showing up. So, yeah.
Who has been your biggest support or your best cheerleader in your life?
Okay, that is something. Never thought of it. Actually, never thought of it. Though my parents are very conservative, but they never said no. So I came to Bangalore overnight. So just decided, like as in we got into the textiles program thing, and just decided okay, tomorrow we have to go and just pack the bags in the night, and just went. So even all the rest of the things like came on later. The rest of the stuff from Devas and whatever be. So they have always supported me. If they were not supporting, I couldn't be here, because it's a longer work hours and all these things happening, because 11 p.m. is the like my minimum thing that I am at the office. And so being a girl, like parents are concerned towards safety and all these things. So when they call me, I'm at the office, they are like, okay, jaldi ghar jaya karo. But they don't say ki, okay, don't do this. They are like okay now, and they are also like settled to my lifestyle thing. So they have been like really a good supporter. And and other like I don't have like many friends and these things, but there are like one person or two people maybe. They always like appreciate ki, okay, you are doing like really great, and since you are like okay working so hard, the things will come. They always like motivate me. I sometimes like call them when I am not feeling well, kind of thing. So yeah, friends, family, and you need to have co-founder to support you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'd say your cheerleader is Ishan.
Yeah.
Priyanshi, who is the one woman leader you look up?
Okay. So I really like Shraddha Sharma. Like she has created a good content company, and she is actually a cheerleader for all the young startups. So she has covered like when Oyo was young, or many good startups when they were young. So she's actually a cheerleader, and she has actually made her way out in this industry, because we were discussing like the content industry, I believe, is like tough. So she has made her way out. She's like quite an influence. And yeah, that's it. Like one person other than that will be I really like Sushruta Sen. It's just because she is not in the she does the things differently. She is not like follows the monotone kind of thing. So I really like her for her like what to call it as personality, along with I'm not getting the Hindi word for that. As in, she which people doesn't do generally. She did not get married. She adopted two girls, and she like plans her own things. So I really like her in that way. So these are two women I really get influenced of.
So now coming to the end of the interview, how would you describe a woman entrepreneur in 3 words?
Okay. How would I describe? Like one is humble, practical, and third is a good leader. So a good leader, a good manager. I believe women are like really good managers than men.
And let's say a young girl wants to start out as an entrepreneur, what would you tell her?
So I would say start early. Because when you start early, you like again will learn, experiment, that phase will come. So the learning phase should pass by as early as possible, so that you can graduate to some level. So it's just start early if you are thinking of something, and then if you are in doubt, clear up the doubts like really fast. Do not be afraid of, do not think about what people will think of you, kind of things that like women go through. But if you pass that all by, then it's just like all the things are there only. And even the community is very supportive. Even people say ki for women leaders, the community is like a little biased towards, but I don't think there is a challenge for women entrepreneurs, like as in people are accepting women in the industry. Though there are less women in the industry, it's due to certain reasons, as in like how we are trained from the childhood kind of things can be a reason that there are less women in the industry. So it's not like the community is not accepting, it's just like it's just the mindset that we are brought up to. So yeah, that is the thing.
Thank you so much, Priyanshi, for being with us and letting all the young women know that there's no stopping them if they want to do what they want to do.
Cool.
Thank you so much.